Hello, everybody. This is Debo with Debo's Film Reviews, and this week's review will be St. Valentine's Day Massacre with Jason Robards as Al Capone, with alongside George Segal, Ralph Meeker, Gene Hale. Features some cameos by John Agar as Dion O'Banion and Jack Nicholson as a random goon. Overall, I gotta say this adaptation practically makes the Brian De Palma Untouchables look like Mr. Rogers. And in this one, I gotta say, by movie standards is a bit more historically accurate because it's more in depth with actual events that led up to the St. Valentine's Day massacre, to not just compared to compared to the fictionalized accounts of Elliot Ness and his war on Capone. I'd say, although all I'm gonna say, Robards is pretty much the second, or should I say, tied with De Niro on portrayals of Capone. Well, this here is more in depth with the characters and events that, like I said, just leads up to that fateful day. And woof, I mean, action out the ass with this film. I mean, I mean, it's rumored that I've read on the Internet Movie Database thing where it said there was more squibs, which for those that don't know is a fancy word for blanks, used in more used in that than the D-Day epic of the longest day. And I gotta say, this one's a little, like I said, more in depth, and it actually has flashbacks to the deaths of actual gangsters, Jaime Weiss, Dion O'Banion, a few others, and more in depth with the rivalry between Capone and Bugs Moran. And oof, talk about epic take on it, and even more enough with a narrator that actually mentions gives details about so and so gangsters, about how they really died and all that. Like take Untouchables, where Frank Nitti in that movie gets thrown off a building by Elliot Ness, while the real Nitti shot himself in 1943. And of course, this one also supposedly says that all the hitmen that participated in the Valentine's Day Massacre also did not make it past the 10th anniversary of it, with getting loose, getting tied up and burn noticed all over creation. And also got to give it some excellent side performances like John Agar in his bit part as Dion O'Banion, and an accurate take, and more historically accurate because they always got it where he, like the real one, was killed in a flower shop and all. Overall, a 5 out of 5. I'll say this much. It also actually features Bruce Dern in one of his earlier breakout roles, and you got to give it to Corman. I mean, talk about influential, one of the most influential directors of all time. I mean, you could say he was like the Quentin Tarantino, Paul W.S. Anderson, and Michael Bay of his day. And overall 5 out of 5. That that actually has more to tell with. Of the actual events and all. I mean, You get flashbacks, events that led up to today, the actual event, historical tale like like of course with Capone's tax evasion, and the fact that he was in his Florida summer home when he orchestrated the hit, which in reality, real life was supposed to go to Ben Moran, but he was surprisingly late. But of course, in reality, his empire fell that day anyway. And of course, we all know Capone got hauled off for tax evasion. I mean, this is 5 out of 5. I recommend this. A must recommend for anybody who likes gangster movies or anything or fascinated with the 20th century, especially Prohibition. I mean, when it comes to gangster films, Prohibition has always been the best era almost one of the best eras to take. That and post-war America. Of course, those will be forever for other reviews. All right, I hope y'all like this masterpiece. Subscribe and enjoy, people.